Have you ever wondered why the joy you chase never seems to last? You finally get what you wanted, and yet something still feels missing. It's not your fault. It's a sign that what you're truly searching for can't be found in the outer world, because the soul isn't hungry for things. It longs for something deeper. And now you're about to hear the words of a great master, as Paramahansa Yogananda reveals where true lasting joy is found. Let his wisdom guide you home. You long for something while you don't yet have it, but once you obtain it, sooner or later you grow tired of it and begin to crave something else. Even if life were to grant you everything you desire all at once, wealth, power, companionship, before long you would still find yourself dissatisfied and yearning for more. But there is one thing that will never become monotonous to you: joy itself. Directly or indirectly, the truth is that in all your seeking of different things, what you're truly looking for is happiness through the fulfillment of your desires. You want nothing that brings sorrow. You also reject what offers a little pleasure in the beginning, only to end in remorse and pain. Whatever your goal, you pursue it eagerly, hoping to find fulfillment when it is achieved. And you should feel content when you finally reach it. But then, why not seek joy directly? Why search for it through intermediaries, through material objects and fleeting pleasures? True happiness does not depend on external circumstances. It must be found instead in life's simplest joys, and above all in the ever-new bliss of meditation. Be happy by embracing the joys of the soul, simple, authentic, and lasting. These joys come through deep thought, introspection, spiritual inspiration, and meditation. Those who delight only in material things without ever tasting the superlative and divine joy within become materialistic. It is a tragedy to behave like a discontented mortal, chasing one desire after another, when you are made in the immortal image of God, in the image of ever-new joy that satisfies every longing. When immortals behave as mortals, they experience alternating waves of pleasure, pain, and indifference. That is why you must destroy this changing nature and awaken to your unchanging essence. When you discover the true nature of the soul, which is eternal joy, the indestructible bliss will remain with you through all the experiences of life. Whether pleasant or unpleasant, your joy will remain unshaken, even in the face of crumbling earthly pleasures. You will enjoy everything with the joy that is God. Maybe as you listened to those words from Yogananda, something deep inside you stirred. A quiet recognition, a sense that he wasn't just describing a spiritual truth, he was describing you. Have you ever noticed how your heart yearns for something, and when you finally get it, the satisfaction doesn't last, that the joy you anticipated begins to fade, and a new longing quickly takes its place? You're not alone in that experience. And more importantly, there's nothing wrong with you. This cycle of desire and disappointment is not a flaw. It's the soul gently whispering, "This is not what you truly want." We live in a world that constantly tells us that happiness lies in the next thing, the next achievement, the next relationship, the next milestone, the next possession. We're conditioned to believe that joy is something to be pursued outwardly, something we'll finally feel once life gives us everything we think we need. But Yogananda's words cut through this illusion with incredible clarity. Even if life were to give us all we could possibly desire and all at once, we would still feel something missing. Why? Because the soul is not hungry for things. It is hungry for something eternal. We don't want temporary pleasures. We want lasting fulfillment. We don't want a thrill that fades. We want a joy that remains. We don't want to keep chasing. We want to finally come home to something real. That joy, the one that doesn't dissolve after the excitement fades, is not found in objects or accomplishments. It doesn't come through external pleasure. It's not in how people treat us or what we achieve. That joy, the ever-new joy Yogananda speaks of, can only be found within. And it's not just any kind of joy. It's a joy that doesn't depend on what's happening around you. A joy that is born from the soul, from that divine spark within you that never dies, never changes, and never stops radiating light. But how do we access that kind of joy? Yogananda's answer is clear, though simple, through deep and regular meditation, through stillness, through returning to the sacred silence within. You see, when we stop looking for joy outside and begin to dive inward, something begins to shift. We begin to notice the flicker of something more stable, more real than anything we've ever tasted before. It may come as peace at first, a soft presence, a quiet calm. And then that peace begins to shimmer with joy, not the kind that shouts, but the kind that soothes, the kind that heals, the kind that makes you realize you were never truly alone. That is the joy of the soul, and once you experience even a drop of it, your perspective on life begins to change. You begin to understand why the pleasures of the world never satisfied you. You begin to see that you were not made for the temporary, you were made for the eternal. Yogananda calls it a tragedy when an immortal being, someone made in the image of God, behaves like a restless mortal, endlessly chasing one desire after another. Because when we forget who we are, we become exhausted. We live in cycles of hope and disappointment, pleasure and regret, stimulation and emptiness. But once you remember, once you touch that place within that is already whole, everything begins to make sense. You are not here to chase things. You are here to awaken. You are here to remember your divine origin. You are here to experience ever-new joy. And this joy is not abstract. It is not reserved for saints or sages on mountaintops. It is your birthright. It is your true nature. Yes, you may still live in the world. You may still have responsibilities, relationships, dreams. But once you anchor yourself in that inner joy, you are no longer a prisoner of circumstances. Your happiness is no longer determined by what happens outside of you. You carry joy with you, like a quiet flame that never dies, even in the storms. This is the gift of the spiritual path. Not the absence of hardship, but the presence of a joy that is greater than hardship. So if today you feel weary, if you're tired of chasing, if you feel like every fulfilled desire still leaves you with a sense of, is that all? Know this, there is nothing wrong with you. You are simply ready to awaken to a deeper joy, a joy that cannot be taken away, a joy that does not fade, a joy that doesn't need the world to be perfect in order for you to feel whole. Yogananda called it ever-new joy, and it lives within you right now, waiting to be discovered. How do you begin? Start small. Start by closing your eyes and breathing deeply. Start by sitting in silence even for a few minutes and listening, not to your thoughts but to the space beneath them. Start by letting go of the idea that happiness lies in the next thing. and turn toward the stillness that has always been there, patiently waiting for you to remember it. In that stillness you will find peace. In that peace you will find presence. And in that presence you will find the joy you were searching for all along, the joy that is God.